Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Mirade.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
Tuesday night at 10 o'clock, it's a brand new Wrestling Insiders at your house where Tony talks The Undertaker. And The Undertaker's recent comments on the Joe Rogan podcast that has set the wrestling world on fire. Tony is on fire himself. We'll see you Tuesday night at 10.
Dan, you know what I'm doing?
I don't have a clue.
Boston wrestling sports and the MWF explodes into a new year of unknown with professional wrestling content galore, and we need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after we review the previous night's Monday Night Raw, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with the unpredictable WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights after WWE, NXT, and AEW at 10 p.m., you never know who's going to show up on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll journey through the 80s and 90s on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday nights after the lights go down at the Thunderdome on SmackDown, it's John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. If you want early, ad-free access to all of our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and to help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times, for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there, live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, welcome to Wrestling Insiders Current Events, where tonight we discuss the February 8th, 2021 edition of WWE Monday Night Raw from the award-winning Thunderdome at Tropicana Field in Tampa, Florida. As you can see, I literally risked my life making my way to MWF Studios in downtown Melrose, Massachusetts. The zip code of champion 02176, almost like Yukon Cornelius in the Rudolph Christmas special with the snow. After the 43 consecutive days I was here, including holidays in December and every single day in January, I'm losing my mind that I lost 2 days this week, and I'm not ahead content-wise as I'd like to be, but here I am. Before we get to Raw, though, I want to send a major league thank you to, oh boy, I hope I don't butcher this too bad, Yuli Kaiser, who sent an overwhelmingly kind gift via PayPal to us today to help keep Wrestling Legends working and put towards the show. It is fans like that that help these productions rolling, and I want to send out a big-time thank you for such a generous, quote-unquote, tip, so to speak. Uli, hopefully I'm saying your name right, first of all. If you're watching any of our premieres, whether it be this one, any of them, please say hello in the live chat box. Don't forget, at the top of the hour tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA Tony Atlas. This week, Tony shoots on The Undertaker's WWE comments on Joe Rogan's podcast, along with his thoughts on various superstars' responses to The Undertaker, including Goldberg, Mick Foley, Bobby Lashley, and especially Roman Reigns. Tony talks about Roman's father, fellow Hall of Famer Sika, using a shotgun. And just another one of those great Wrestling Insider moments. We'll keep the lights on for you at 10 p.m. for more engaging wrestling conversation. If you missed it, we actually had a bonus episode with Tony this past Saturday night due to the passing of the natural Butch Reed, as he was known in WWF at the age of 66. Another legend we'll never be able to have in studio to tell his story. Tony talks about Butch and somehow discusses Dangerous Danny Davis saving Vince McMahon in Linda McMahon's cold response to a later request from Danny. Very interesting story there. For the rest of the week, tomorrow night at 10 p.m., it's Wrestling Insiders Special Edition with Native American Tatanka, a great episode where Tatanka discusses leaving a six-figure job to break into professional wrestling, his journey to the WWF, and his very early days in the company in 1991, including how Tatanka was created. If you're a fan of this era, the early 90s, you're going to love it. You never know what to expect on Wednesday nights on Wrestling Insiders with our rotating panel. Great fans like Uli and you make it happen. If you don't want to wait until tomorrow night to watch the Tatanka episode, it is available right now on our acclaimed Patreon service at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. As always, Thursday night after our AEW and NXT review, Marty Jannetty will be with us for Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty at 10 p.m. Then, after the lights at the Thunderdome go down on SmackDown Friday night at 10, John Cena Sr. and his dome light up with his unique perspective on the world of professional wrestling on Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. And now, at least for the winter, as we test things out, if you miss any of our in-studio shoot interview episodes during the week, Saturday night at 10 p.m., we have a supersized Wrestling Insiders Weekend Review, a la Saturday night's main event, only without the wrestling, just the memories and the legends, where we replay all 4 shoots from the week, or 5, depending upon if we have any special episodes. Along with that, you can catch our weekly TV episode reviews each week, Tuesday at 9 p.m., as in right now, we discuss what can be a difficult 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. Thursdays at 9, we break down both the previous nights, AEW Dynamite and WWE NXT. And Saturday nights at 9, we talk about the blue brand, WWE SmackDown. Then, every Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at 2 p.m., we offer Wrestling Insider Flashbacks, small segments and clips from interesting guests, legends, and stories over the years, hopefully to entice you to sample, again, the acclaimed Patreon streaming service. And then, every morning at 10 a.m., it's WWE History, where we look back at live event results from an event on that date from around the globe, primarily focused on the 80s and 90s to fit the theme of the majority of our talk shows. Again, we have live episodes galore coming up for you to enjoy and take part in. Valentine's Day night, poor Dave Carter is going to have to turn the phone off on the cell phone. The apps are going to be on fire for him. We'll have our NXT TakeOver watch-along. Friday, February the 19th, during SmackDown, we'll be joined by the man that only knows how to rock, Marty Jannetty. And then on Sunday, February the 21st, as the road to WrestleMania continues, we'll be back with our Elimination Chamber pay-per-view watch-along. And we might just have a surprise guest or two for that one. Don't watch the pay-per-views alone. Stream them on WWE Network and watch along with your friends here in Boston Wrestling. While coronavirus has killed the nightlife, don't forget the eBay store is open 24/7, baby, with great, rare wrestling merchandise from every era. And each purchase gets you a shout-out from Tony Atlas on Wrestling Insiders at your house. Check out the link in the description box below. Finally, while everyone that watches our programs is considered a friend, everyone that smashes the thumbs up button to let YouTube know you like our talk show is a great friend. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for free and hit the little notification button so you always know when to expect new episodes, sometimes even surprise episodes. We need you, our tag team champion partners, our Boston Wrestling Warriors, to get on social media, get in those Facebook wrestling groups, get on Reddit, hit up the popular wrestling websites and share the link to this and all of our great episodes, especially the talk shows. That, my friends, is how we're going to grow into what we're trying to do, getting new fans involved in the process so we can continue to bring you more and more great wrestling guests, more and more great wrestling content. I would love to have a fresh guest 7 nights a week. That is my ultimate goal. Who ever thought we would be doing it 4 nights a week at this point? I have no ego. I know there's millions of fans that have no idea we exist, especially lapsed fans that missed the good old days of the 80s and 90s. You can help them get back into the dance. And again, we can provide more content for you. And again, If you want to be more than a friend Valentine's week, then baby, join the family on Patreon. Early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insiders in-studio shoot interviews each week. Our world-renowned studio shoot interview DVD library that's been seen by millions online and millions more on The Howard Stern Show. Exclusive Patreon content, plus the knowledge that you, yes you, are helping keep professional wrestling legends during the worst of times during coronavirus for them at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling, all for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. With that said, we're now joined by a man who doesn't just wait for Valentine's Day for a little dark chocolate. He loves it year-round. We're talking about longtime Boston Wrestling MWF associate, Mr. Dave Carter. Dave, thank you for taking some time away from the chocolate.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. You're too funny.
I have a little bad news to share with you before we begin the Raw review, though.
Okay, what's that?
Well, MWF Ambassador of Goodwill, Reno Chastain, has been hospitalized by COVID.
Oh, my God, really?
The Palm Bay, Florida Playboy, Reno Chastain himself. What they found very interesting was that Reno actually died in 1986, yet he's still breathing. But as of now, he's hospitalized with COVID. We send Reno our best. It's been a while since we've seen him, but knock on wood, he'll survive. He always seems to.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's talk Monday Night Raw from last night. An extravaganza, if nothing else.
Yeah, Monday Night Raw last night. Here we go. We kicked it off with Adam Pearce in the ring. It started out. He introduced, welcome back, I should say, Shane McMahon. He came out, doing his little dance. I know you love Shane-O. Basically, they announced how Drew would be defending his title at the Elimination Chamber against 5 different people, which were Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, The Miz, and Sheamus.
What a young group when every one of them is older than me. But anyway.
What honestly, though, before I get else what happened in the promo, because it was weird because didn't to you Shane McMahon seem like off last night a little bit?
You know what it reminded me of? And this is a bit of an exaggeration, but remember when Ultimate Warrior came out for his Hall of Fame induction? He was just sweaty.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
It was weird. Yeah.
I just thought he did exact. So I'm glad you kind of knew what I was talking about. All right. And then from there, we had AJ come out, basically kind of mock Pearce, said basically he always thought he was a dummy, but actually was happy with this announcement. Let me ask you, do you like almost what do you call it, being with him? Do you like that pairing?
He's almost ready for TV. I don't think he's quite ready yet. I think he was very good at opening the door for Shane at Raw Underground. But as far as the bodyguard role, I don't think it's clicking yet. Maybe it's the way he dresses. Maybe he's a little overdressed to be a bodyguard. Maybe I'm not quite sure what's missing there. Maybe that there's really nothing verbally from the man. He just kind of stands there and attacks. He's not the thickest guy in the world, but, we've said that about a lot of big guys. There's something missing from Omos at this point. I'm not quite sure what that is. I'd have to study Omos a little more, but then again, other than opening a door and walking out with AJ Styles, there really isn't much to study.
Right, exactly. And that's why I just didn't know how you felt, because honestly, AJ doesn't need anybody, but I don't mind the pairing because it's kind of funny, the little things that AJ does, like, hey, did you get that? Do you understand? Like, you know what I mean? I kind of think that's a little bit, but I don't think AJ really needs somebody. But if it's going to make him end up being somebody, I guess it's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From there, we got AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy. It was a decent match. I mean, obviously you're going to get a good match out of these guys. I mean, we've seen it how many times now,
Well, but it is not original. That is for sure.
Yes. Basically, it went back and forth. Styles ended up winning by submission with the calf crusher. But I don't know. I just feel like if they're going to build that match, they shouldn't even have those guys touch. You know what I mean? None of those guys should be fighting. Maybe have little promos and stuff, but wouldn't you rather see the match be original where none of these guys actually face each other and then you finally see the final product at Elimination Chamber? I don't know. How do you feel about that or what? Because we've already seen this.
I'm trying to think, are there any original matches out of that grouping that have never happened before?
That's what I mean. That's why you don't even need to do them. Just wait until Elimination Chamber.
I can see their point of trying to hype the guys up, but if it was me, I would want all 6 going over with decisive wins headed into the pay-per-view, so they all go in strong. Maybe maybe the final Raw going in, maybe they could do a 6-man or something like that. But on Raw, I would have all of these guys winning matches headed into the chamber.
Okay. You know what? That's actually not bad. I don't mind that. Yeah, that's
But
true.
as far as just if we're going to get singles matches between all of them every week between now and, well, how many Raws are there between now? There's only one more Raw before the chamber, right?
Right.
Yeah. So they really can't overkill it where they just announced it, I guess.
Right, exactly. I don't know. To me, but I do kind of like what you're saying, too. I just always think about that is, you know how they always do that with those multiple people matches?
Yeah.
They'll have, like, back and forth.
So with only 2 Raws left, I would definitely have all 6 guys win matches both weeks.
Right, okay.
But
okay.
that's just me.
Right.
There's
Now,
logic involved in it.
Going over the match, do you have anything to add to it? I know.
Well, I enjoyed the return of Stone Cold to open the show. I wasn't exactly expecting that. And I'm talking about the real Stone Cold, not Steve Austin. I'm talking about Shano. You couldn't kill him with a bazooka missile filled with coronavirus Mac. I'm sure Shano at some point will probably take out Omos to build off of their feud, or their history from Raw Underground that is largely forgotten from this summer. Maybe at a future WrestleMania, after Omos destroys the roster, maybe they can bring in Shano to slay the beast, so to speak. The match itself, it was fine, like you said. Are you really going to get a bad match out of AJ and a sober Jeff Hardy? I don't think so. I enjoyed the match. Why put Hardy in the main event of a pay-per-view, having him do a clean job like that? It was well put together. It was well structured. Anytime you have a babyface submit like that, though, it's kind of... But
right.
It was a good match. I enjoyed the match.
Yeah, okay. So that's how I felt, too. And I do like what you said. I love the Stone Cold Shane McMahon stuff. That always cracks me up. Actually, now whenever I see Shane McMahon, I always laugh because I think about you saying that. From there, I'm pretty sure, like I said, I want to let everybody know my notes are a little sketchy right now. Didn't we get the Keith Lee and Riddle promo talking about the upcoming match they're going to have? That was next, right?
Yeah, that was a channel changer.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So basically, Keith Lee was like, you had your opportunity, let someone else have a chance, and then they just talked about their upcoming match. I don't know. I was actually kind of excited for the match because I know they're
really
hard. Yeah, I actually am. I like Keith Lee a lot, and Riddle is blah, but in the ring, he's actually fun because he's hard hitting. He does a lot of different things. But his promo's no good to me. I don't like that bro stuff. You know that. But I mean, the segment just to get up to the match, I understand it. So I wasn't that mad at it. I know what you're saying. It could have been a channel turning too. I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
There really wasn't much to add to that promo. It was what you may call much ado about nothing. To build up to a match that I have much more to talk about a little bit later on as we progress through Raw.
Okay. From there, we got the New Day versus Retribution, which New Day is Kofi and Xavier Woods. And we had from Retribution, we had representing T-Bar and Slapjack with Mustafa Ali. He got his name back. He's Mustafa Ali now on commentary. Basically, the whole match, he was yelling. It's just like the Street Profits on SmackDown, except you have him live yelling. I don't like it. He's not a tough guy to me. He doesn't come off as a tough guy. I don't really understand why they have to play him off as a tough guy. If he needs to do all this to try to be a leader, it's not believable to me. It was a decent match. I mean, you're not going to get a bad match with Kofi and Woods in it. Slapjack and T-Bar, I mean, they are. I like T-Bar a lot. I think he's a big dude. I don't know. I'd rather him as Dominic Dijakovic, but whatever. We'll see what happens with that if they end up doing anything with Retribution other than what they've been doing. New Day beat Retribution by pinfall. After the match, Ali was very upset, obviously. He got in the ring, started hitting them around a little bit, his men or his lackeys, whatever you want to call them. From there, I don't know. How do you feel about the match? What do you think about Ali? Things like that. Are you happy you got his name back?
I am surprised with the words that are going to come out of my mouth. I have to say this is probably the best Retribution match I've seen to date, although that's almost like talking about what's your favorite bowel movement. I mean,
That's
they
true.
say you can't make a bad, well, you can make a bad first impression, and they didn't make a bad first impression. They made months and months and months and months and months of bad first impression. I thought Ali was the wrong guy to lead them, but I have to say last night I thought was the best of Ali in the role that he's been. I thought he was actually, even though he was angry on the commentary, it at least seemed like he was speaking with a purpose. And with a little bit of rhyme and reason as to what they're actually doing, why these three people feel like they've been slighted by the system, by the company, so to speak. I have no idea how they could come up with a logical explanation for that. I didn't say it was perfect. I said it was better than most of what they've done at this point. At least Mace was not in the ring. I feel like I've been maced sometimes when he tries to put together some offensive moves, but that's a different story for a different time. Ali kept saying he wanted them to eat. They were hungry, almost like Reno Chastain when he'd be looking for one of his free meals. But whether it was Kofi and Xavier making them look good, or maybe they're just starting to gel now that they have a little bit more experience under their belt. It's tough for new guys that don't have the house shows to work 3 nights a week, that are on the road full time. You know, they basically have Raw and then they go home unless they're forced back to the Performance Center like Mace. But, you know, I've seen far, far worse from Retribution, and I think everything else I've seen other than that has been worse. Probably the best of Retribution, and as much as I love Ali's wrestling work, I think this is the best as his role as the mouthpiece for this group. I just don't understand how the system screwed them. And honestly, I expected to see Kofi and Ali on a pay-per-view, but then again, sometimes the pacing and the patience within WWE leaves a little to be desired too. Maybe it'll be a Raw match. Maybe they'll save it for Fastlane on March 21st. I'd be surprised if they held out till WrestleMania. I imagine they'd do some kind of a tag with New Day, but who knows? That's why it's the road to WrestleMania.
Yes, sir. All right. From there, I'm pretty sure we had Lacey and Flair in the ring. Is that right?
Correct.
All right. We had Lacey and Ric Flair in the ring. Flair basically saying he's taking Lacey from under the ring. They don't have like a real relationship. He wanted to make sure he cleared that up because we all thought he really did, right? Basically, he wanted to motivate her and pretty much have her be the best like he was. And because Charlotte doesn't need him, so he wants to give his the rub basically to her. Charlotte came out, cut a promo on Lacey. It led to a match. Charlotte versus Lacey. I think these are two of the best women in WWE. They're fantastic. I love Lacey. I love Charlotte, and you can't go wrong with the match. I honestly didn't think this was one of their best matches they've had, but it is what it is. It was more like basically setting them up because I think they're probably going to end up fighting at Elimination Chamber, I would say. Or I'm thinking, I don't know.
I think they announced it last night.
Oh, did it? Okay, so there you go.
At some point.
Like I said, my notes are scrambled. I probably did have that written down. Sorry about that, folks.
That's all right.
From there, we had Lacey basically got won by DQ because Charlotte kept on smashing her with her, her forearms in her chest, and the ref wanted her to stop. She ends up hitting him, and that caused the DQ, which had Lacey win. I don't know. How do you like the feud? I know you must agree with me about the women.
You know, I love the feud. I don't like it. I love it. Whoever came up with this idea deserves a big pat on the back. It's one of the fresher women's storylines we've had in a while. It gets Ric Flair back on television. I think, not wrestling-wise, but gimmick-wise, there's very few in the company, men or women, that do it as well as Lacey Evans. She's just, I love her trying to provoke and break Charlotte's balls. I'm a little confused how Charlotte comes across as the babyface in this feud, where she was kind of an ass to Rick on TV. Right. And I think they almost missed the boat because it seemed like for a minute, Lacey was trying to tease that Charlotte and her should be a tag team for a while. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're going to have these two team up. And then once they get towards WrestleMania, they'll finally have their big singles match off of this feud. Well, I was absolutely wrong about that one. I guess Charlotte is going to have more matches with Asuka where Asuka can go, that tremendous duo. But as usual, the pacing and the patience in WWE is non-existent, as opposed to waiting until April 10th or 11th for Charlotte and Lacey. They decided to have it then and there on Raw, which I couldn't believe. They didn't at least save it for even one of the B pay-per-views, but what are you going to do? That's WWE. At least storyline-wise, the match gives Lacey a title shot, which I imagine Charlotte will cost Lacey that to continue their program again on the road to Tampa, Florida. That'll have many twists and turns through Tropicana Field in Tampa. Are you there, Dave? Dave, if you're there, I cannot hear you. You like Socko. Are you putting salmon pants on as you get ready to plow tonight? Both the snow and the dark chocolate women. Well, maybe we should disconnect and hang up, fans. This is what happens when you have live television that isn't live. Let me try and disconnect this and call him back. Many of you have talked about how much you've enjoyed Dave on the show. I don't think you've realized how long he's been around for, especially some of the newer fans. Well, maybe it's my headphones. I don't know. It seems like I'm not hearing the boop, 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 boop. Dave, if you can hear me, I can't hear you. Hold on one second. Let me try and talk into the phone. Are you there? I can faintly hear you. Let me see if something came loose in the back.
Yeah, it must have.
Oh, wait, no. And now I can hear you fine.
All right, because I can hear you perfect. I don't know what happened. I've been talking, and
Well, you heard about the chocolate.
I heard everything you
All
said.
right.
Then I thought you were messing with me.
No, I wouldn't do that during one of these review shows.
Okay.
Because I have to edit them.
Right.
If it was someone else's work, yes, I would. But no, not my own.
Okay.
All right, so where did we leave off? We were talking about the Flair and Lacey clash.
Yeah. Exactly. So we'll just pick it up there. You basically, I just wanted to ask you you pretty much answered it. So we'll just go from there. Let me ask, since we're not really on that whole thing. The Edge promo was next?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm doing pretty good already. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. So after that, we went to the Edge promo. I thought he did a hell of a job. I thought the promo was great. I actually got a little bit of goosebumps with it because when he talks, he's really believable. I really enjoyed it.
Goosebumps, really? You thought it was that good?
Yeah, because at the end, when he said, "I need the title back," like, I don't know, I just like that stuff when they make you believe it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to believe anything in wrestling, and because he never lost the title and he got it taken away from him. And he hasn't had it back since he's been back because he got injured again. I just really liked how he said, "I need the title back." I don't know. It just made me feel like he was believable. And you don't get that a lot with wrestling anymore. But for me, I thought it was really cool. But in that, we had Miz, Morrison, and Garza. I guess they're the new pairing. I don't know. Kind of weird, but whatever. It works. It's cool. Miz interrupts Edge saying, "It doesn't matter who you choose for WrestleMania. All I know is I will be cashing in my Money in the Bank briefcase." So, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't know if they're going to have Miz cashing in before, during Mania. We don't know. But what I did like what Edge said is, I'm not making the prediction right now who I'm going to face until after Elimination Chamber. It just wouldn't be smart. How did you like the promo, the segment?
I felt for quite a while now that there's way too much time between WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, and that's why they come up with so many bad, stale ideas to continue to throw the main event people on TV each week, but they don't have enough good creative ideas for them. There's only so many things you can do with people interacting for what turns into, 10 weeks sometimes in between the Rumble and WrestleMania. So I like the fact that they're holding off on Edge's decision. I like that he bounced from show to show to show to show. As far as Miz and Morrison go, I've said before, I think the fans would enjoy Morrison much more as a singles babyface with the way he works. Miz is fine in his role as kind of a intercontinental champion type heel. As far as him cashing in, that's a real eye roller to me. Certainly hope it doesn't happen. Hated the way he won it. Hated the original person that won it last spring on the top of Titan Tower in Stamford, Connecticut, but that's also a different story for a different time. Don't know if this is a one-time deal with Angel Garza or if it's something they're going to do again moving forward. Maybe it would give Angel some rub to be with guys a little further up the food chain after they dissolved, which what was a hell of a trio with him, Zelina Vega, and Andrade. But, you know, why worry about presenting something good on TV when you can do this?
Right. No, I totally agree with you. I think because Miz doesn't really need the title either. He does fine without it. I don't know. I think it kind of, you don't think it would freshen things up with him as a champion, though?
No.
All right.
No, not at all. I wants to see him as champion. I mean, it's not, he, not that what he does in the ring is bad, but he'd almost be better off as a manager. I don't know. I think he's a much better mouthpiece than he is as a wrestler. I mean, how many really good Miz matches can you think of over the past 15 years?
Honestly, if we're going that way, it should be the reverse then. It should be, honestly, if they're going to keep him, it should be Miz as the manager, Morrison the worker. You know what I mean? Because honestly, like you're saying, Miz would be a good manager. I think so, because he definitely can talk. So I don't disagree with that at all. That led to a match between which I want to hear your thoughts on this with Damian Priest versus Garza. Damian Priest had Bad Bunny. Before we get into the match, what do you think about that? Like,
am I out of the loop of current events and being cool now that I am the big 4-0 and I have no idea who Bad Bunny is?
I don't think so, because I literally only know of him because of the Booker T song, pretty much. You know what I mean? That's pretty much it. I don't know.
So had you ever heard of him before that song?
I've heard his name, but I didn't know he was as popular as he is. You know what I mean? Because you know how you hear people's names, you don't know who they are. I've heard his name.
They put him over big time when he came out last night as far as things that he's done recently. Right. And I was kind of impressed.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. And it's like, I know he's been I've read into him. I know he's been a lifelong fan of WWE. And that's
you researched Bad Bunny.
Yeah, just because I wanted to know.
That was more than me.
Right, just because I wanted to know what we were talking about a little bit. But I don't know. To me, I didn't know he was that well known that he could be on Raw week after week and, be with a guy they're trying to get over in Damian Priest. I don't know if Bad Bunny's the one that's going to be able to get Damian Priest. So we'll see. But
do you think they could hold off until Mania to do a tag match?
I think that's where it's going. I think that's what they're going to do. Yes, because you got to remember, it's in Tampa. That's a lot of Latino community just being in, near Miami and everything like that. So I'm guessing that's probably where they're going to go. I mean, that's me thinking.
They're just going to come up by the busload to see Bad Bunny at Raymond James Stadium.
I'm telling you, the way they talk about him, it sounds like he sells out lots of shows for them. But anyway, so we led to Damian Priest with Bad Bunny, like I said, versus Garza with Miz and Morrison. Bad Bunny got involved a little bit during the match. He took the briefcase, started hitting it on the stairs, basically caused Miz and Morrison to get sent back up the ramp. And as Garza's turning around, Priest hit him with what's that move? I'm sorry, it slipped my mind. What's his finishing move called?
Who?
Damian Priest.
It's called his finishing maneuver.
All right,
the Reckoning.
I think it's called the Arrow Slit.
It's not the Reckoning.
Is it the Reckoning?
I thought it was the Reckoning, but
all right, maybe you're right. Like I said,
isn't that the one? Maybe I'm thinking of the one in Retribution. I don't know.
No, you could be right. I don't know. Like I said, I'm sorry, folks. My notes are messed up. It won't happen again. I just really took some bad notes on this one.
It's like you put them on index cards and they fell on the floor, and you're trying to figure out how to put them back in order again.
There you go. But like I said, it led to Priest pinning Garza. Like I said, Bad Bunny is what it is. I don't know. Do you think he's worth using to get Damian Priest over? Do you think that's going to help him?
No, because I have no idea who Bad Bunny is. Maybe it's a good thing to entice younger people to watch, or maybe those that just watch YouTube clips. Maybe they see Bad Bunny involved on Raw and they tune in, but as far as I go, I think it takes away from him. To me, he's not it's almost like the discussion we had on one of the talk shows not too long ago about someone like Tyson and Shaq, being of any value to AEW at 48 and 54 years old. I mean, Bad Bunny is a younger person, obviously, but, I mean, does he have that type of mainstream appeal that's going to get people to go out of their way to watch Raw or or the WWE Network to watch a pay-per-view or something like that. I don't know. I don't know enough about the guy. Like I said, it seemed like by the resume they read off on Raw last night, he's pretty popular in the music world right now. I don't know. Maybe I need to do my Bad Bunny research. Maybe the guy that came out with Adam Rose, could be involved too. I don't know. They got plenty of bunnies around.
There you go.
It's some wrestling. I think it was at WrestleMania 19. They even had some Playboy bunnies. So I guess you really could be creative with Bad Bunny. Judas Priest, the right guy, won the match, I guess, where you need to get him over. He's got some size. He's just fresh up from NXT. He should not be losing, so you can try and get some fans to attach them to a new face, maybe that they're not familiar with if they don't watch NXT. But hated to see Angel Garza lose. That is a guy that I would have tied up under contract for a long time and would be grooming for a top spot for a long time, in my opinion. He's got great charisma. His promos aren't bad. He's just got that sliminess about him. If it was me with that magic pencil in Connecticut or Tampa or wherever the pencil may be, I would be trying to come up with great stuff for this man, not losing to the man managed by Bad Bunny.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree too. Garza's definitely got money written all over him if he's done the right way, and like you said, written in with the right magic pencil all the right way. I'm from there. We got I'm pretty sure a Belair promo backstage.
EST.
Okay, so we did Belair promo backstage talking to Asuka. Basically, Asuka saying she isn't ready for her, but Belair saying maybe you're not ready for the EST. Basically saying maybe Sasha isn't ready for her either, and they're all laughing, giggling. Asuka's doing her. You go ahead, you make your noise that she makes. That's what she was doing.
Maybe they should pair her up with Otis.
Yes,
Just
sir.
think of the bedroom scene they could do with the two of them. Asuka squealing as Otis grunts at her. That'd be.
Oh yeah,
That'd be some magic. Oh yeah, Asuka, oh that calhoun. Oh yeah.
Jesus. What did you think about the promo? You got anything to add to it?
They built it up all night, and it took place in the gorilla position in 13 seconds. I was a little disappointed. Not that I cared, but I was a little disappointed.
Right on. All right, so there. I'm not sure. Like I said, now was there a promo in between this match, Keith Lee versus Riddle?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay,
It
good,
wasn't in
because
my notes if it was.
All right, so I didn't have it, like I said. So we got Keith Lee versus Riddle. This match I was looking forward to. MVP on commentary, love this. I love MVP. Him coming back to WWE, everything he's done has been awesome. I can't complain about anything he's done. He's done everything right so far coming back to WWE. I just think he's so talented on the mic. I liked listening to him do the commentary. It wasn't annoying. It was a hard-hitting match. Oh, some of those bumps that Riddle and Lee took are just unbelievable. Lee is so athletic for his size. He's got so much power. It was a great match, like I said. Lee pinned Riddle. Lashley came out at the end, and Lashley finally became who Lashley should be, a friggin' maniac. I bet you liked it, too. Lashley came out, destroyed both of them, basically put him through table, everything. I loved it. I thought it was a good way to end the match because we're going to get Riddle versus Bobby versus Keith Lee for the U.S. title at Elimination Chamber, and I just thought that was a perfect way to end that segment. What about you?
The match itself wasn't so bad. I mean, there were points where Lee looked lethargic, which is why I think they've sent him back to the PC to maybe try and get himself into a little bit better shape. I mean, Riddle is just doing clean jobs for everybody now, so I don't know how the fans that may have liked him when he first came in are going to stay attached to him if he's constantly a loser. I don't know, especially someone where Lee has been kind of off the canvas a little bit. He needs some help in the wardrobe department because the singlet really isn't working as well as the boxer brief style outfit that Keith had before. I don't know. It seems like I enjoy seeing him less and less each week since he debuted last August to great fanfare where he was pushed into the main events with Orton and McIntyre right away. Now he's kind of in the mid-card shuffle. He wins a couple, loses a couple. He came away with the victory over Riddle again, who's been losing to everybody. And yet somehow Even though Bobby Lashley came out and kicked the shit out of both of them after the match, it's going to be a triple threat on Elimination Chamber where they both get a chance to lose again. So that'll be good.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you about his wardrobe. It is kind of, it's nothing to write home about. But I mean, I think there's a lot of potential in him, and I'm not saying you didn't say that either. I'm just saying I think there's a lot of potential there, and I think if Lee's given the right direction. Also, I honestly think if it's his opponents too, because I think he needs to be in the ring with better people. Riddle's not one to help him out. I think if he was in the ring with Drew, Brock, people like that.
Who, Lee?
Yeah.
If he's just going to get blown up, I don't know.
So you think he's out of shape?
I think he's out of shape, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I did notice that a little bit, but I thought it was more of him selling. Maybe he really was. Yeah, maybe you're right. I didn't think about that he was. I was thinking it's more him selling, but you could be totally right there now that I'm thinking about the match, that he could have just been blown up, yeah? All right.
If WWE decides, once life comes back to normal a little bit from coronavirus, if they decide to eliminate house shows, they're shooting themselves in the foot big time, because you can have these guys train at the Performance Center 7 days a week. There is nothing like working in front of that live crowd to learn from and keep your wind up, keep your cardio up, keep your timing up. It's a very different environment, even wrestling in front of televisions, I've heard from some of the guys. But that is the award-winning Thunderdome right now. But they've certainly made lemonade out of a lemon compared to wrestling those shows in a warehouse at the Performance Center. I love the Thunderdome format. What they've done with it is absolutely tremendous, but it's still not real people. You have partially piped in noise, fan boos, fan yays. These guys need to be working in front of people, not TV sets. But, it's going to take a while to get to that point. For now, you just hope they can stay conditioned and stay in the best ring shape as possible for someone like Lee, who came in, like I noted back in August in these main events, title matches with McIntyre and working Orton on that, I think it was called the Payback pay-per-view. That's not a spot you want to lose, and you may not be given a second chance to get it. He's got size, so obviously the guys with the size are always given more chances to fail than a smaller guy. But, if I was Keith Lee, I'd really be working on my conditioning on my 6 days off a week.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that at all. I just hope I hope they don't get rid of live shows. I was reading that. Oh, my God. I'll be friggin' no good with that. But from there, we got your probably favorite segments of the night. We had the tape. Sorry. Oh, man. We had the tables match, which was Nia Jax with Shayna Baszler versus Lana with Naomi. I have written, because the match was just no good. It was terrible. I don't know why you would put these two people in a tables match. It doesn't make any sense, other than that I know Nia's been putting Lana through table after table after table. You don't need to do it again. We've seen it a million times. It's just not working.
And not interesting.
And that was
no one cares about either one of the characters.
Right, I was just going to say, no, it's not interesting because nobody cares about Nia or Lana right now, which Lana's beautiful to look at, but not wrestling. I'm sorry, and I don't want to say the wrong thing with that.
She offers nothing.
Right.
It's just
her. She's better as a valet, a manager maybe, or something like that, a wrestler, and no. And I don't want it to sound bad that she's not, but it's just, I think she's better off, like we were saying about The Miz, I think she's better off as a manager, a valet, something like that, because she's very nice to look at. But just not wrestling.
When she was doing the Brigitte Nielsen role from Rocky, when she started with Rusev a few years ago, she wasn't bad doing that, but she lost her accent, she lost her edge, and now she's just a lousy wrestler that gets put through tables by Big Nia.
Well, but you know what? Lana actually put Nia through the table this time because she pushed her ass right into it, and boom.
You'd think there was it was like one of those Saw movies where there was like a bed of nails or something. Nia looked like she almost died from going through the table after she started to scream.
She was screaming when she took that bump on the apron. Everybody said they heard her scream, my hole. That's what I was reading today on like little review stuff.
Did you think we'd be talking about Nia's hole today when you were preparing for Raw, taking your notes?
I would like that because I know you love Nia.
No, well, I'm certainly not probably the first and last time I'll ever discuss Nia's hole.
Okay.
It has
Here we
become
go.
quite the topic of conversation on social media today. Her screaming, "My hole."
Right. I don't know.
I
I
hope her
didn't-
hole is all right, and hopefully we never have to discuss it again. But
Yes, sir.
I'm
And then
sure
from-
she is voluptuous to many.
Yes. From there, we got another. We got two for the price of one. You must have loved it.
This is when it started to go downhill quick.
We had Naomi versus Shayna
Herman
Baszler.
Munster.
Yeah, I was. Oh my God, that is freaking unbelievable without hair. Jesus, she kind of does. Oh, Dan, don't do that to me, because now you got me thinking John Candy and now her. Oh, Naomi versus Shayna Baszler. It was a quick match, not too long, probably not quick enough for you. Shayna got distracted from Lana, caused Naomi to hit her with the leapfrog splash thing, and she pinned Shayna. Like I said, it was a quick match. I like Naomi. I see a lot of potential in her. She's still rough around the edges, but I think she could be up there with a Lacey if she got more work in the ring. She's been gone for so long. She came back. I'm hoping she gets an opportunity to actually maybe be put in some good matches. I don't like the pairing with Lana because I think that brings her down.
That's death.
Great. Shane is great, but she's just not in the right matches yet. With her, with Nia is no good. Like, it's weird. Both people are paired with the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? I think they would do better by themselves. But what about you on that match?
I tell you, usually WWE's production is so great, so state-of-the-art, they can cover up a lot of talent's missed spot. But did you see that kick Naomi threw at Shayna's head? I mean, even switching cameras, you could tell it missed by a good 6 inches, and Shayna still sold it, which was just one of those
I hate that.
moments.
I hate that because it just makes me so mad. Exactly.
If it doesn't register, don't sell it.
Right. Exactly.
But as far as the match goes, I like Naomi. I think she's a great athlete. I like her entrance. I think she's very colorful. But, you know, once the bell rings, it's lacking substance. That's what I remember last year. I think it was last year. There was that big rally. Give Naomi a chance. Give Naomi the belt. Blah 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 blah. During the Black Lives Matter movement, and that's why I thought it was so apropos that it was Booker T, an African American himself, that spoke up and said it's not about color, it's about talent. And she wasn't quite there yet. So I applauded Booker T for that. You know, like I said, great athlete. I believe she was she a cheerleader for the Magic, or I think she was.
Right.
That's what it was, the Magic. Yeah. You know, for what she is, she's fine. In the perfect world, would I have her on a women's roster if I ran WWE? No, but my women's roster would probably consist of only 6 to 8 of the best, to keep it crisp, concise, short, sweet, and to the point. Not having table matches, screaming my hole, and miss kicks. But we got plenty of that on Raw. Usually it's storyline holes we're talking about, but tonight it's Nia's hole.
Oh boy. If there was no promo after that, I don't know, because that's where I'm sorry, I just don't have it. Was there anything after the?
It was a long promotional video hyping up.
I know that. I just did. Okay, so then we got the main event, which was Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. Great match, but you're not going to get a bad match with Randy. Randy's probably hands down the best wrestler in the world. That's my opinion. He's just fantastic with who he's ever in the ring with, to me. Sheamus music hit, distracted Drew a little bit, almost got the pin, but didn't. Sheamus stayed outside the ring for a little bit there. He ended up running into the ring, rope kicking Randy to cause a disqualification for Drew to lose. Drew ended up after the match, hitting Sheamus with the Claymore kick. From there, you knew this was going to happen at some point. Things were going to boil over to stop for Elimination. I don't mind this so much. I think Sheamus and Drew is going to be very good. I like their segments. I think Sheamus cuts a good promo when he seems like.
Wait, hold on, Dave. I'm losing you again. Let me see if it's the cord or. Keep talking, Dave. I can vaguely hear you through my headset. It's not registering on the audio board here, though. Let me try and do a little bit more maneuvering. Anything, Dave?
All right, yeah.
All right, no, I got you.
All right.
All right,
So
back to the main event. No, and you lost again. Keep going, Dave. There's something to do with this cord. I don't know if it's loose. Shit. See what happens, folks? I tell you, the frustration I go through here. Dave.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to, with my finger, actually hold it in.
Okay, so like I was saying with Sheamus, I like Sheamus when he's into the things because his promos are so much better. You can tell when he's not into what he's doing, and the Sheamus is like so power. It's like when they say James Storms does the boo-boo face when you know he's going to lose his match when he's walking down the ring. I feel like that's with Sheamus. He doesn't get into it as much. But this, I feel like he's really into it, and it's going to like, I think the match is just going to be really good when they have it. I was very happy with it. I thought the ending of Raw was pretty good. That's me. What about you?
That is probably one of the least interest I'd have in a potential McIntyre pay-per-view title match. I just think Sheamus has been there, done that. I don't think he has any credibility, and for people to think he's actually going to win, I don't think the match would be particularly good. Again, one man's opinion. There are maybe many European fans that would love it. I am not European, and I am not someone that wants to see the match. But that is just, again, the one man's opinion. I enjoy the McIntyre and Orton matches. I think they both deliver, and they have good chemistry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with that. Definitely Orton. I don't know. I think me personally, I think it's going to be a good match if they do it. Elimination Chamber might be the only thing they do. Who knows? I have no idea. Or there you go. So that was Raw. I know we do the grading. Do you want me to give the grade first? Or do you want to give your grade first?
Yeah, we usually go with your grade first. I'm interested to see what you gave.
I'm going to give it a 6. I thought there was too much women. I thought the Edge promo was fantastic. I thought the main event was great. I thought MVP on commentary was good, but then I didn't like so much with the beginning of how it kicked off with Adam Pearce. I thought that was I don't like that kind of match. Like I said, I didn't think that match needed to happen right then yet. And then you talked me into it. So I guess, but I'm going to stick with what I have, a 6. I thought it was a decent Raw, not the best, not the worst. It was watchable. That's me.
Well, I am going to be surprised with what comes out of my mouth here, too, because I think after doing the review, I'd go lower, but I actually give it a reluctant 7 out of 10, which is one of the highest Raw ratings I've given in quite a while.
Higher than me, you never give it.
As noted, I didn't like the women's stuff, even though I really love the Evans and the Charlotte angle. I can't believe they wasted that match on a forgettable TV show that people won't even remember in a week or two, which is another problem they have. It just felt like everything was trying to build, and I'm a big fan of the building. I really can't think of at any point last night I was eager to say, you know what, I've had enough, and I want to put on a basketball game or a baseball game or something like that. It was, even if it wasn't the best show I've ever seen, it was watchable, and the key moments they needed to present, pretty much all of them hit, and again, you know, you have my hole to work with.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, I'm that's actually a really good way to say it too. I'm gonna stick with the 6, but I can see going to a 7 as well. It's weird. You never ever rate things higher than me, so
my Raws are usually pretty bad.
Yeah,
very
I'm
low.
Proud of you for giving it that.
You're proud of me. All right. Well, geez, now I'll have to do it more often, I guess.
Yes, sir.
All right. Are there any news and notes that we need to cover coming out of the big show?
News and notes. The only news that I actually seen was WWE is getting ready to announce that tickets for WrestleMania will be going on sale sometime this week. They're going to make the announcement.
This week? Really?
Yeah. The announcement, not on sale. The announcement when. I read that yesterday from Tampa Bay News, Fox 13.
Uh-oh. Well, I know you stay in touch with everyone down in the Sunshine State from your time living in the Tampa area.
Yes, sir. I can't wait to get back there.
Well, I am looking forward to the 2-day extravaganza along with anything else that may go on that week. It has been too long. I am just jonesing to hear a human being fall in a wrestling ring with my ears. I wish we were presenting our own MWF live events, as we had 2 that were rescheduled for the 3rd time for March and April, but it certainly does not look like those are going to happen, which is a great disappointment to me. Never mind financially devastating to us, but that's a different story for a different time. But just to be around that wrestling atmosphere, even if it isn't something we're presenting. To produce our talk shows is a lot of fun. To do these podcast-style reviews can be fun, and we can have some laughs, but there's nothing like that live in-ring wrestling. You know what I mean?
Right on. Absolutely. I can't disagree with that at all. I've been telling you, I've been going through withdrawals. It's sad right now. Like, we look forward to going. Me, you, we always go. We're always having fun. Like, it is. It's like you said, devastating right now with nothing around. It's tough. It's definitely
Well,
tough.
for us, it's a killer in the wallet. But like I said, we'll save that for our Patreon fans over at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling.
Keep
We'll
on
shed our
supporting
tears
us in
there.
other ways. Keep supporting us in other ways. Patreon, eBay, all those things.
But I tell you, if you told me that our online platforms would grow as much as they have over the past year, I would have said you were nuts. I look at the numbers, like I said, if we could ever grow the YouTube from where it was January 2020's numbers to January of 2021, it's mind-blowing to me, almost unbelievable to me. If we could ever do that from 21 to 22, oh my God, what we'd be able to do in that studio every month. But again, it's up to the fans. Like I said, there's millions of fans out there that have no idea who we are, but I think once they do find us, they're really going to like us. When we had this giant explosion of new fans kind of join the team back in, we really started to heat up in August, but more so in September, and these just giant numbers started to hit every month. I mean, sometimes 10 times as more than the year before. I mean, that's a lot of fans, and they're liking what they're seeing because they're sticking with it. We just need to, again, find ways to come up with more and more fans. That's why, Dave, you being the socialite you are, maybe you could plug the programs on your Tinder account or other wrestling forums you may be on Facebook and things like that.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we'll send you some links, fans. We're running out of time on this episode. Don't forget, in just a few minutes at the top of the hour, Mr. USA Tony Atlas is back for Wrestling Insiders at your house. He shoots on The Undertaker's comments on the Joe Rogan show. Undertaker's comments were controversial to many as a man that's under contract for the next 15 years to the company. But when you throw in what Goldberg said, Lashley said, Foley said, Reigns said, plus some stories about Roman's dad, Sika, with a shotgun, it is an episode you must hear. Then again, tomorrow night on Wrestling Insider Special Edition, it's a very rare appearance by the Native American Tatanka. Fans of the early 90s are going to love it. For my partner in crime, Mr. David Carter, are we going to see you live Sunday night for the pay-per-view?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, we're going to get ready to watch along, baby. For Dave Carter, I'm Dan Mirade. We'll see you at 10 o'clock. You and yours, be well. The World Wrestling Federation was live at Ben Light Gymnasium in Ithaca, New York, Thursday, February the 9th, 1984, for a fundraiser for the Ithaca College wrestling team. In the opening contest, Tito Santana beat Eddie Gilbert. The Iron Sheik with the win over future nemesis B. Brian Blair. Tiger Jackson and the Haiti Kid defeated Dana Carpenter and Poncho Boy. Mass Superstar victorious over Tony Gurria. Polish Power Ivan Putski battled Sergeant Slaughter to a double disqualification. And in the main event, Andre the Giant and WWF Tag Team Champions Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson defeated Intercontinental Champion Don Morocco, Mr. Fuji, and Tiger Chung Lee in a 2 out of 3 falls match. If you were in Ithaca Live, share your memories in the comment section below. Use the links in the description box to keep Wrestling Legends working in our eBay store and on our acclaimed Patreon streaming service so we can bring you more interactive superstar shoot interviews to relive the good old days of professional wrestling. Check it out. Boston Wrestling Sports in the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early, ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.